gamers, and welcome to episode 465 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for August 17th, 2024. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nicholson. With me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on, Dom?
All right, man. So we've been off a little 2 weeks, so we got some news happening.
Yeah.
Summer is almost over. The season, as far as calendar year, summer. I don't know about the weather, but the weather's been actually,
it's cooled down.
This is what I said for the last, August is for the last, I don't know how many years now. August has not been what I was when I remember younger. It used to be like super hot. It hasn't been that.
Yeah, next week it's supposed to be in the 70s. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's been at that for a while, and I don't know why. Why is August not the hottest, like one of the hottest months anymore? I'm happy it's cooling down. That's cool. But summer, it's almost over. Kids are already, like, in some places they're starting to get back to school. I know colleges are opening up for people to get on campus. So yeah, it's getting that time of year, man. It's getting that time of year, football about to start up. Preseason has started. You got baseball's winding down.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's just cool. Get right down to sports. So, Olympics has happened. Last time I checked, U.S. was leading in all medals. I think they are leading in all medals, definitely. But they were leading gold too at one point. But I don't know what the final tally was. I never did look back. So in my mind, they lead. They won. So it doesn't matter what.
Tell you otherwise, Dominic.
So what did I didn't really watch anything. Like, after I watched one of the track and fields. Well, I watched the replay anyway. The 100, because that was awesome. The men's 100, because everybody was just like right there at the finish line. I was basically just I watched the swimming, which I talked about already. I didn't watch anything else. My sister had texted me how the basketball team was losing. But when I saw how much time was left, I was like, don't worry about it. They're going to win. Yeah. And everybody say, close call. It was close calls. It was close. It was close. Apparently, the other team started real hot, and then the U.S., I guess, they woke up and locked down. So, yeah, they won as expected. I expected them to win. And, I'm rooting for them to win. I'm not rooting for them to lose or anything. Yeah. Yeah, good for them. I wanted to be competitive and things like that. Oh, yeah, and I take back... Well, I don't want to take back totally what Embiid. I still don't like the idea of him being on the team. But he didn't play for no other team before. So that is a little different. But they said he did mention he might play for Cameroon, where he actually is born. And the next Olympics, then I'm like, wait a minute. See, that's what I don't like. Like, I don't like the idea of, hey, you can just switch teams like that because, I was like, come on, man. You can't. It just makes it all flimsy. Because to me, it already is kind of flimsy to me. Like, because the idea is that, okay, yeah, you represent your country. But it's almost like the idea of that you lived in that country, you trained in that country, and now you represent that country.
Yeah. The
idea has changed, years. I don't know when did it change, but I just know it. Since I've been watching, it's been like this, and for a lot of people, they trained here in the U.S., like either college or something or whatever, then they go back to their country. Or, they could be living here. I don't know. Maybe they're not full citizen or dual citizenship or something. But then they represent the country. And, yeah, so it does just change it, because, like, you training here, and I get it. Some people say, well, in some cases, it's that, because we don't have that there at our own country. I get that, but then it's like, I don't know. And then it's not the same anymore to me. I almost like, you training U.S. You just represent the U.S., man. I know you're from there, but you just told me that, hey, they don't have pools here. Well, technically, your country didn't have pools. How can you represent your country if you don't have pools? If you have pools, I understand it though. I don't really care. It just makes it. It just changes things. I don't look at it the same way though anymore. I don't look at it like, my country beat your country. It's almost like, hey, my country outsourced our sources so you can be good. And now, yeah, on the thing, you got your national anthem playing, but hey, you trained with us. You trained over here. It's like, what's the difference? Because with a guy, I think it was I forgot what the competition was. I think it was the long jump. And the guy, I think because I forgot what country it was, and they said, "Oh, look at him." You see, then they show LSU, and people were cheering at LSU. I was confused, like, why are people cheering at LSU? He said, "Oh, because," and they show him in his backyard, and in Louisiana. I said, "What time about?" I said, "Wait a minute, how is he in his backyard, Louisiana, if he's from?" I forgot the country he was from. I said, "This doesn't make sense." Then it's like, "Oh, the parents are from there. They went to LSU," and I was like, "Was he born in America?" I said, that just changes everything. So he's just by name only associated with that country. He's done everything here. I don't know. I don't know about that. I think that's stretching it. Yeah, I'm like, that's our gold medal. Add that to the gold medal rankings. Because I'm like, come on, man. I said, I don't know. I said, it's one thing like you moved over here or you went to college here, but you still lived there. But he lived in, you said his backyard was in Louisiana. He was in Louisiana. I said, come on. All right, but it's like, whatever. But anyway, yeah, that's Olympics. Baseball, it's still bunched up. Like nobody, like it's just going to be a crazy race come. Orioles, they are iffy. Fans are, I mean, this is like this for all teams, though. Our fans is all doom and gloom, like, oh, man, like, we should be a whole lot better. Or like, oh, man, our pitching staff is not going to work. We're not going to survive to the playoffs or something. Or, hey, we keep leaving runners in scoring position. We do all those things. But then look at our record and look compared to everybody else. I'm like, these other guys can't be doing that great either, right? I mean, I don't know what to say. It's like we only watch our team, so I like because I see you guys. So unless you're telling me y'all watch these replay games, like on the off hours of the other games, like our game, I'm like, because I look at those messages board, they're saying the same basic shit, or like something else is wrong with their team, and I'm like, dude, we just get to the playoffs. Let's get to the playoffs and let's hope for the best. Because I think that's what's going to come down to. Because all these other teams aren't perfect either. Like, I was at the point where I thought Cleveland was the team. Like, they just seemed like the all-around team. They some questionable on starting pitching, but great team. But then after they played against the Orioles, they started losing. And the Twins are coming out right up their ass. I think they won the last few games, but it's all close, man. Like, it's all, like, I think the most wins in the league is, 71, 72? 73 Yankees. Yankees have 73, Orioles 72 wins. Philly has 72 wins. I think, who else? I don't trying to see anybody else. Cleveland has 72. Dodgers has 72. Yeah, 73 wins is the most in the league as the Yankees. And they just got there. They're playing a team that's not so great. But that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to beat these teams. So, yeah, I give them because Orioles, I've seen us playing on great teams and we haven't beaten them. But everybody goes through that, though. Because Yankees they lost a game to the Sox. The Sox had, like, blew them out one game. It was ridiculous. Aaron Judge is looking good again. And, like, he could possibly get 60 home runs. And what somebody said, which I think is, like, I don't know. I don't really like the statement because it didn't make sense with how the situation is. Like, they said he'll be the first player to actually have 260 home run, 260 home run seasons in his career without like steroids being attached to his name. Mm-hmm. But yeah. I'm here to say that steroids wasn't attached to those guys' name until after they got those. Right. Though they weren't attached at the time. So I was like, that you can't say that yet. You can't say his career is still young, and I'm hoping it's not nothing attached to it either. But I'm just saying that you can't. That doesn't make sense. That's something you say at the end of his career.
Right.
Don't jinx it or nothing. Don't say, because nobody was attached to steroids when it would happen. Only when Barry Bonds, I would think when he got the 73 when some allegations was coming out, but when Sosa was getting 60 home runs 3 seasons in a row, I didn't really hear nothing.
No.
So yeah, so I'm like, I wouldn't say that. But yeah, but he's awesome though. He's a great hitter, man. And he's not just a power hitter. I mean, the guy is a great hitter. And yeah, he got his 44th home run. He got his 300th home run in his career, which is the fastest of anybody ever in baseball to get 300.
Oh wow.
I think it was like 1,000 something games. I think was the next person in line, and he was at 955. And I was like, 955? That's ridiculous. I said he's almost like 50 games ahead of the next person who got 300. That's crazy.
Yeah.
The guy's is awesome. Shohei Ohtani is still killing. They say he possibly could be the first guy ever to have 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases. And I'm like, goodness gracious. And this man not even pitching yet. Like, he taking a year off pitching.
Oh, really?
And this guy's doing this.
Wow.
Because he has an injury. He had an injury, so his pitching, you can't do it. So I'm like, wait a minute. It's like, darn, he's almost worth the money just on this.
Yeah.
Just being like a regular player.
Yeah.
And now he can possibly be pitching next year. I mean, I hope he's good. I hope he's still good at pitching.
Is he a designated hitter then, or is he playing a position too?
Oh no, he's designated. He's designated hitter.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so it's he could. I mean, it's already looking like, man. Like, if no injury really happens, I mean, some people are already saying it, and I'm not gonna argue with him. Like, he's the best player ever. He could be the best player ever.
I mean, absolutely. But I can't help but wonder if him doing basically double duty, if he's going to be like a star that shines bright, but not for very long,
Yeah, I do. That's what I was thinking. I was like, he's not going. One of those things he's not going to do for the rest. Well, most likely it'll be pitching.
Yeah.
I think pitching will be the one that go first. One of those things he's not going to do his whole career. He's going to stop somewhere on one of them, and I think it's going to be pitching. Because I want to know. They always talk about, hey, Babe Ruth was a pitcher and a hitter. But everybody's talking about his hitting. So I didn't know when did he stop pitching at some point?
That was also when they were throwing the ball like 20 miles an hour.
yeah. No, don't tell us historians that, Daniel. They don't like you saying things like that, because people got mad at Barry Bonds when someone said that Koufax. I mean, like Koufax, but I mean, he said, like, someone asked him, if Koufax is still playing today, how would you do to him? He said, I'll kill him. And I was like, he ain't lying though. He'll kill him.
Get juiced up and tear that ball apart.
He was good before he juiced. Before he started getting big, I think he had the 400, almost 500 home runs or some shit. Mm-hmm. It was crazy. Barry Bonds, he was just keeping, and that's the thing. That's why, as older I get, because first I was all against these guys. I was all like, y'all freaking cheated, man. Y'all ruined the game, man. You ruined my childhood. And but as I got older, I was like, man, a lot of these guys were doing it, and baseball just let them. And you can't blame them if baseball is basically let them, and other people are doing it. This is a job too, Yeah. This is your career. What you gonna do? Like I don't blame people for, like, I gotta keep up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can say they cheated, but I just find it funny that, I mean, I know some of these sports guys, like I do really like Tom Lavero. I do like him, but he's really a stick in the mud about that. He's saying how, like, he would never get the vote. These guys cheated and blah blah blah. And I'm like, man, baseball is accountable for that shit. And I just think, fine, you want to do the Astros thing? I mean, everybody's going to know. That's the thing. Even if you put those guys in, everybody's going to know that they did something. But it was allowed. I'm sorry. It's basically almost allowed.
Yeah.
Because if they really wanted to stop it or really do some testing, they could have done it. They could have got down on it.
Absolutely.
But they didn't. All right, so well, preseason started. I know we threw our guy did run for a touchdown. He did a nice ass pass too. People are really hollering, hopping for that. I've saw it, but I've been watching a whole lot of stuff because, like I said, preseason is only care about injuries, and I didn't hear anything yet. So I'm like, yeah, I'm still just waiting for the season. Yeah. Other than that, nah. Everything's all right. Oh yeah, I know. Cal Ripken is going to be in the splash zone. He's going to be splashing people.
Oh yeah.
I forgot what date it was. It wasn't this weekend. But I saw a commercial for it, like the Splash Man coming to his office and saying he's up or something like that, and he got his big floaty or something. Got out there. No. Yeah, it was funny. Yeah. So that's it. Anything big happened in wrestling?
Yeah. Since we recorded, SummerSlam did happen, and that was a fun show. I think overall the matches were pretty.
Who are those
good.
guys on the promo of the a Peacock that I see for SummerSlam? They're in the car.
Oh, that is the new bloodline. So
okay.
With Roman going away, Solo Sikoa, who was basically his like enforcer, took over as the tribal chief, and then you got Tama Tonga, Loa, and Jacob Fatu, who are basically like his underbosses now. But as of SummerSlam, Roman did come back, helping Cody Rhodes defeat Solo Sikoa, and that's kind of kicked off the feud between Roman and the new bloodline, which as of last night culminated in Roman Reigns getting beat down.
So family fighting family?
Yep. They're continuing the civil war. They're continuing to find either Samoans or Tongans to fill out this stable, and everybody's assuming that at some point, we're going to get
in vacation Hawaiians.
Eventually we'll get The Rock back. We'll get Jay and Jimmy Uso back helping Roman. A lot of people are speculating we'll even see Sami Zayn back helping Roman eventually. But Roman right now is exactly what Vince wanted him to be for the longest time, just the biggest babyface in the world up until he came back. Because he's been gone since WrestleMania. We haven't seen him at all. And people have just been chanting, we want Roman, we want Roman. So, he came back, speared Solo Sikoa, and that was it. People were popping for him. So that's good for him. Gunther beat Damian Priest for the championship on Raw, thanks to Finn interfering in that match, helping Gunther win. Basically, not really helping Gunther win, but costing Damian Priest the match, basically, because Finn and Damian Priest were in the same faction, Judgment Day, and that faction is basically kind of fallen apart, or also in a similar way to the Bloodline, gotten kind of restructured because Dominic Mysterio turned on Rhea Ripley earlier in the night. Costing
Dominic
her
Mysterio.
the match.
What is this?
That is Rey Mysterio's son.
Oh.
Yeah, and he's got a very Eddie Guerrero look going on right now because he's like a superhero.
It's a good name.
Yeah. He's like a super heel right now, and he's kind of leaning into, because back when he was super young, he was on the program, and they actually had a ladder match between Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio for the custody of Dominic, because basically Eddie was saying that he was his son. So he's kind of really leaned into that gimmick. Like, he's got the mullet, he's got the mustache going now too. And that's really working for him. Now he's paired up with Liv Morgan, who has kind of come in and infiltrated the Judgment Day while Rhea Ripley was off, while she was injured. So they're doing a similar kind of story with the Judgment Day now that they're telling with the Bloodline, and that's been really successful with them there. So I think this will work too, as long as they keep it unique enough, and I think they're doing a good job of that. It was kind of funny though, because like watching SummerSlam, it was all enjoyable. But then like thinking about it more, like almost every one of those matches ended up with some kind of like outside interference or distraction, which most times people would be super upset about. But I think they executed it well enough that it actually worked. Because, yeah, I'm trying to think of a match where there wasn't something odd that happened. Because, like, Bailey versus Nia Jax, Bailey was basically cost the match by being distracted by Tiffany Stratton trying to cash in. LA Knight versus Logan Paul. There's always some Logan Paul shenanigans where he's got, like, brass knuckles or something. In this case, I think MGK was there to give him the brass knuckles. Yeah, like basically every match. So yeah, it was kind of entertaining that all happened, and it was still a good show. AEW's kind of leading up to their big thing, the All In pay-per-view, the one they do in Wembley. That's going to be Daniel Bryan career versus title, basically against Swerve Strickland, Bryan Danielson, I should say. Again, I think I talked about that last time we recorded. That's going to be interesting because any other time that's basically telegraphing that Bryan Danielson would win, but he's the kind of guy that, like, if he had to go out, I wouldn't be entirely surprised that he would put Swerve over this way. Otherwise, there's some other matches on that card that are exciting, but nothing really to get too in depth in. But yeah, wrestling's really entertaining right now.
All right. So I guess we'll get to what we've been watching. So, have you watched anything?
Not really anything outside of House of the Dragons, which you've got on here. I did I watched a good portion of The Great Wall, because that's that Matt Damon.
I was going to start that too.
Because it was leaving Netflix. So I was like, you know what? I've had this on my list forever, and it just seems kind of stupid enough to be interesting. I didn't realize it's also got like Pedro Pascal in it. It's got William Dafoe in it. Like, there were a lot of people that I didn't even.
A lot of non-Asians, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there were plenty of Asians as well.
No, I mean like the big, like the names. Like, I just thinking Matt Damon was it, but it was like, oh no, we gotta.
But this is also, I mean, obviously Willem Dafoe, but like this was like pre Pedro Pascal blowing up, really. So I was kind of surprised to see him there as kind of the sidekick to Matt Damon. What I saw of it was about what I expected of it. Is like, it's kind of entertaining. It's cool seeing all these like different factions of warriors trying to protect the Great Wall of China in their like Power Ranger-esque colored attires. Like, oh, the people that do this are this color, and the people that go down on ropes are like blue, and it's like, oh, that's kind of neat.
Yeah, because I saw the beginning. My sister just had it on when she had some get together at her house, and I just saw. I didn't really understand what's going on, but I was like, "Oh, this ain't what I thought it was." Because I was seeing stuff like that, and I was like, "Oh, this is something else." But yeah, I was going to give it a chance. I mean, I still give it a chance. I mean, I don't need to watch it on Netflix. I mean, there's other ways I can watch it. But yeah, I was going to check it out. I think I'm watching something some other show on Netflix. Because I'm just kind of catching up since House of Dragons is off. I'm just catching up with some older shows I was watching but didn't finish the seasons or whatever. So that's it? That House of Dragons. So I'll just talk about something else before we get to that. So I went back and watched. Well, I'll put Civil War up here, but I didn't even finish it.
No,
but because I was watching all the like I said, the Marvel things again, and now I'm up to like I was kind of going in the order they came out, but then I was like, some of these I want to go. I just skip. I won't do Civil War yet. I'll just watch Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and which I already talked about, and then I watched Thor Ragnarok because I think timeline wise they said, technically these took place before Civil War.
Right. I think a lot of that is kind of nebulous enough that where they're not like directly competing with each other, so that you can slot them in wherever.
So I watched Thor Ragnarok again because I haven't watched it since this probably be my third technically. No, this be my third or first or second. I think I seen it one other time when they when they originally came out, but I wasn't really invested in it. Then I watched it again, and I had some complaints about I think Thor is too comical. Yeah. And I still have those complaints. Like even after this again, I mean I like the movie overall, but I still think his character is just. I think he should be more of like what Thor is. Like his comedy just goes with him being like
right. The comedy is like fish majestic. Out of water stuff.
Yeah,
because he. Yeah,
I mean, yeah. Just like when he gets on Earth, you don't know when he understand your stuff. Like, oh yeah, I don't do this or that, blah blah blah. You know, like you see on the cartoons and shit, or even the comic books. And then well, not the old comic books. The old comic book was just weird having him like, oh, he's a human doctor or some shit. You know, like what the fuck,
Donald Blake.
And so. I was like, Derek, because you have so many other characters around him that are funny that he didn't have to be the comedy.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I did like it. I liked it. I mean, I get it because some people try to compare it to the older one, so they said like, oh, they had to change it up. But I was like, you didn't. But you didn't have. They were just bad movies. I mean, that doesn't. I mean, I'm gonna say bad movies. They weren't just that good. Like you could have done something in between. I don't know. Like I mean, like as far as that, like I know I like the whole idea of that and going to the Hawk's Planet and stuff. But I wish those characters. Yeah, I wish those characters. I feel like it's just too many. It's too many of those characters. Mm-hmm. It's too many of those guys. Like he was. Because it was like, come on, man, you weren't like this before. That's the funny thing. Because like you weren't like this in the last two movies. You weren't like this in the Avengers, the two Avengers you were in, and now all of a sudden you got like some like you're like a Tony Stark kind of thing.
Yeah, and then you pair him up here? Like with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's just like, oh, I've got two Star-Lords now.
Exactly, and see, and that's not how it's supposed to be. Like I mean, yeah, because you got Star-Lord already. It's like, it's like that's just too much. I think it's just that's too many funny guys. But anyway, the movie was good. I mean, 3D was great. 3D was really great in that movie. Really well done. Definitely better than the last movie they did. Well, the last two movies. I guess they were. The first one was in 3D too, I think. Actually, was the first one? No, I don't know. The first one was 3D. Maybe it was, and it sucked too. Yeah, I think it. Yeah, I think the first one was in 3D, and because I was like, man, this ain't nothing in there. And then I thought 2 would be better, and it wasn't. All right, so what else have I watched? I guess we just get the House of Dragons then, man. So House of Dragons overall, I think it's like the show is good. Yeah. Like as far as just saying what the show is, it's good. Now, as far as the way television works, separating things to seasons, I don't think it was a good season though. I don't.
It's a little rough.
I just think that, especially with it being 2 years for the next season, I don't think you did enough in this second season to really call it a season. I think it's the flow.
I think Warner Brothers fucked them a little bit, to be honest.
Yeah, but that I guess. I mean, I listen. I don't know. I mean, I don't know directly who to blame, but I just know I'm just speaking on the show. You can tell me whoever messed them up, whatever. But the show is a show.
I just think two more episodes of this, and you get a complete season, basically. And that's where they were with like Game of Thrones, but instead we did this whole eight episode thing. And sure, like the writers could adjust for that, but I don't know how much you then have to, squeeze out. Which I mean, we've talked in previous episodes about what we could drop out of some of this stuff, but at the same time, I like most of what we saw here.
Yeah, I mean, I know what I'm saying. Everything I saw, I was okay with.
Yeah.
And like I said, just the breaking it up. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense that you break it up and this is how you leave off at. This is not a good cut to a 2-year break.
No, it doesn't even feel like a cliffhanger or anything. It just feels kind of a dull fade out. Like there's no impact here whatsoever.
Yeah, so I think that's it. I wish I just it just got me to the point where like you know what, I'm gonna start not just watching things until like I did with some of these other shows I did. I didn't watch them until they probably were almost done, and then I went through to see like I heard people if it's worth it or not. And you know what, I might just do that with this one, especially a 2-year wait. Hell, I can wait another a few weeks, because it's just that it was such a waste to me. Because it's like, damn, I could have waited.
Yeah,
I really could have waited for these episodes. I could have waited to watch them months before the new season come out or something. Yeah,
and it probably would have been a much better experience. You know,
exactly,
because you would have had that getting your excitement in there. Yeah, because these episodes aren't like they're memorable. So in 2 years, I'm going to probably have some questions. And I mean, that's what sucks. Like I need something like and thing is with the way that television used to work, you know, the season it was only a 3-month break. Yeah,
between another season, and even then, even some of those shows you didn't have to remember what happened in some of these things. Some of those, like comedies or something, or this is procedural shows. They didn't have a continuation. But then when shows start having like a better story where they wanted a continued story going on, a 3-month break was like, oh yeah, I still remember what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
Or they do. Some of the comedies, you know, they have like, the last episode will be a 2-parter.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have like, what happens? Does she leave him? Does Gina leave Martin? So I have to wait 3 months to see if they get back together. Yeah. But you remember, it's like it's not that long. Now you talk about freaking 2 years, like a movie or something. Like this ain't a movie. A movie is done in a way where it is kind of you can still remember what happened, and then it's only if you do want to watch it again, it's only at the like 2 hours or 2.5 hours or something like that. You're talking about a freaking 8 hours. Yeah, that 2-year break is, I think it's a little too much for a season like this, and I don't understand the whole budget thing. If that was the case, like, we can't do 10 anymore. I don't know what I mean. The budget is, I guess because of all of HBO, WB, or whatever.
Sure. But like, if they can, who can? It's your biggest show, basically.
Like I feel like you would take money away for something else because you seem like you do anyway. And at least put money into that. At least put money into that, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I think during this break, they're also doing some other show that takes place in the Game of Thrones kind of universe, but like, still, I just.
So that's more something I have to remember, and that's all that does. It just confuses me with this other show because I was like, I got 2 things here.
Oh my goodness, I didn't realize how many shows.
Some people are going to complain about that. These like people who say that they say like, it's not that you watch a lot of shows together and blah blah blah. But I mean, if the whole thing is that money and stuff.
Look, man, there's 7 people named Eamon in this show. What do you want from me?
Yeah, exactly.
Is this supposed to be that same guy, but like grown up? What's going on here? It's just a lot.
Yeah, and honestly, I just don't care. Like, because of how they did this, I don't care about the other show. I don't even care. I mean, I'm saying I might watch it still, but it's just that as of right now, I could care less.
Yeah.
Like, I want this to be finished. That's the thing. I'm at the point where I want you to finish this. Like this is like one book. I mean, I did one book in a season on Game of Thrones. All right. yeah, so that's it. So I guess we get to what we were playing. So you haven't played anything?
Yeah, nothing really new.
All right. So I've been playing some more Dragon Age Inquisition. Nothing really much to say there. Played some more Trails Through Daybreak. Not gonna say there either because I didn't play a lot of it. Because I'm playing basically trying to finish up Dragon Age Inquisition. I did play some Apollo Justice. I don't know if I mentioned. Did I mention that last podcast? Because I do have a video up with that podcast, but
I don't.
I might have forgot to mention I played it. But yeah, I played the new Apollo Justice collection. I just did the first court case from that, and like yeah, visually it looks definitely a whole lot better than the Game Boy Advance one, or Game Boy DS, the DS one. Yeah, I think that actually did originally come on the DS.
The Apollo one started there. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, it was okay. It's okay. I still don't like the idea of Phoenix Wright not being a lawyer in this, but I mean, gameplay wise and stuff of that nature, it's all right. What else? Did I play? I tried out the First Descendants, which is that cooperative type of shooter. Kind of remind me of Outriders.
Okay.
And things that anything kind of that bad or cooperative. I guess you could just put Destiny in there too, but it is a it's one of those. Actually, I don't know if this multiplayer, like as for versus, I think it's just cooperative. But
like looter shooter kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely that.
So I always confuse this with, I don't know. I just don't remember what it is. Like I recognize the game, but I'm never quite sure what the game.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Outriders to me. I saw my friend playing it with his one of his guys, and I was like, let me see how this is because I see them playing it, and yeah, it kind of reminds me of that. And it's free to play, so I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I can see the niche, like just the itch scratch of a shooter, and I was like, oh yeah,
especially with Destiny 2 kind of winding down.
Yeah, and it's expensive. It's too expensive for like if Destiny 2, I would still be playing it if I wasn't locked out of some stuff I have to buy, even though I know they have sales, but I don't want to pay for it. Because I just feel like, hey, you can get listen, you get enough money for the potential of me buying skins and stuff. Like I you need to make this other stuff free. Like get your money from there. Anyway, yeah, it's damn, I'm trying to think. Yeah, it's third person. You do pick between three characters. They're different types. Abilities, I chose the normal, the middle guy, and I don't know if you can really. I mean, you can change your outfits, but I don't know if you can change the actual character. I think everybody just looks like they either look like that woman, the man, or wherever the hell that the big guy is. I don't know, a robot. But because I don't see his face. But yeah. And then you could probably just change their outfits and stuff, as the game goes on to make yourself unique. But you do, you voice, you're talking and stuff like that. To the cutscenes. Don't get me started with the story. I wasn't paying attention to what they were saying. I know that there was a bad guy and he did bad things, and now I gotta go stop him. I'm trying to remember what exactly. Because I remembered something like what I was supposed to be doing, and now I don't. Now because I'm getting confused with Warframe. Because I played a little bit of Warframe. So no, never mind. I don't remember. Oh yeah, but yeah, how it feels? It feels okay. I mean, it feels like Outriders to me. I mean, so it's not great. Yeah. And plus, I haven't played Outriders in a while, so I don't know who's the better shooter. Maybe Outriders feel better. I don't know. But it just, it's nothing spectacular about it or anything. If you just like those games, like those looter shooters, game of service type of games, then yeah, it's
worth checking out.
Yeah, go ahead. It's free. It's free to play. So, and it ran okay on my PC.
Nice.
So at least that's good. Because it's not graphic heavy. Because I had played it on the Xbox. Because I saw it was on Xbox. I was like, man, I don't know. Because maybe they optimized it better even on the Xbox One than it does my PC. But then I tried up there, and I was like, graphically, and it was a little fuzzy. And then I said, I'll try it on the PC, see what happens. I was like, okay, they did optimize it pretty good. So there you go. All right, so what else did I play? I played some Creatures of Ava, which came out on Game Pass, and it came out I think it's everywhere, right?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's on PS4. Is it on Steam? I'm not even sure. I know it's on Game Pass. I got it on Game Pass. But it's like an adventure game. Like, because first I was really thinking like, oh, it's because somebody mentioned something like a Pokemon, so I thought I was collecting creatures and fighting them. But no, you're not doing that. You're saving them. So it's you're saving this planet. They are inhabited with some intelligent life though, and they're very tribal guys who. Some of them don't really care for the humans. The humans have been there before for something, and I don't know what happened between them. It didn't seem like nothing vicious or nothing, but there's some type of scourge or virus, I don't know, that is doing something to their planet, and we're trying to help them. It looks like the leader is saying that they're okay, and they don't need to be saved. I'm trying to convince them, and that's what. And one of their tribal people they feel the same way too. He helps me. So you do basic things like you got this thing like a camera where you can scan the creatures and stuff like that. Also, some of the creatures who are affected, you got a staff or something which can take the infection off, and then you can guide them with some type of flute or ocarina. You know, sorry, but it does. I do
remember this game now when seeing the flute. I remember seeing this at one of the showcases.
Yeah, but you do note stuff like ocarina when using it. So you have that. I mean, I'm still at the very beginning stage of the game, but it seems all right. It seemed like a nice adventure game. You know, something like it's more closer to like Zelda, but I'm gonna call it Zelda though. But it's not action packed. But it's a lot. Yeah, but it deals with these nice cute creatures and things of that nature. And you're trying to help save this world. Yes, very 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 PC. Very PC. But yeah, it seemed all right. I did want to play. I was like, I wouldn't mind playing more of this if I was to play some other games or anything. But yeah, I'll give some more of a shot. It does have voice acting, not all the way through though, but it does have voice acting in
like it just in cutscenes type stuff.
Yeah. Gotcha. What else did I play? Oh yes, and the best game that I played is EDF 6. That's Earth Defense Force 6.
Nice.
Where you fight big bugs. I thought this was like an old one at first. I was like, oh, this is just like we're like putting it out again? Is it like a little remaster or something of an older game, EDF? Because I don't even know what number we're on now. And then I saw like, 5 already did come out, and I think I actually played 5. I want to say on PlayStation, on their on the PlayStation Plus things. I think they had it. I think I played it through yours, and so. Because I was thinking, I thought I was playing 6, and 6 just came out on PC or something, and then I saw like, oh no, 6 is new, and playing it. This game, I mean, yeah, there's a reason why I thought it was like a old game and being remastered, because it looks like it was for the PS2 era and remastered up.
Yeah.
To this era.
See, Dominic, these are the games we get when we ask for lower budgets and shorter timelines.
Now, like, I get it trying to be cheesy as far as, like, the whole premise.
Yeah.
But it didn't have to go cheesy with the graphics, though. But it's like,
so this game did originally come out in 2022 in Japan. So, I mean, there's a little bit of an excuse.
Oh, so 2 years ago, these were those graphics there. Yeah, whatever. So, what did I, was about to say. Oh yes. So how it starts out, oh my god, like they force you to walk slow and the people the dialogue is so bland that like it's funny. It's funny because I'm just laughing because how bland it is. I mean, and like what they say, and and like and Amy actually fighting. There was the way they talk, man, is like what guy would say. I wasn't meant to fight this. All I was a scientist. I don't know war. And then but he says so bland, so freaking monotone, like it's like what the fuck, and then these guys were like, hey, maybe we should eat some of these monsters so we can have some food or something. And then it said, a couple guys tried to do that, and it didn't go well for them. That's like somebody said.
They got upset tummies.
And then yeah, it's just like just the random. I mean, you can go look it up because people post it. And I think Donkey just put a video up of that game. Yeah, it's pretty funny, but yeah, but okay, now to the gameplay. Yeah, it's what it is. The EDF game, and the controls are freaking. They're not great.
Yeah,
because I was messing up, and thank God I had cheats, so I couldn't die. And I wish they would let you test your weapons before you choose to go in, because I'm thinking I'm getting a nice gun, and then I'm like, I mean, the gun is nice, but it's like a pulse kind of thing gun, like it charge up, and I was like, oh, fuck this. I thought it was like a freaking machine gun type of weapon, and I was like, I don't want this, and then I had to go quit the game. Also, I never seen the aliens. Always thought were. I mean, they are like the spiders or the ants and stuff like that. But those are the monsters apparently from the aliens. Now I don't know if this is the same storyline from the old ones. I think 5 and 6 are more connected than anything, I believe. But you actually see the actual aliens. They're giant looking frogs.
Ouch.
Those are the aliens, and then the monsters are what they use like to send out to do the bidding. And I want to say that was sometimes the monster attacking them, or I don't know, they were in control. I have no idea. Oh no, I think the guy mentioned. That's why he was saying we should try to eat them, because he said the aliens. That's their food source too. They eat the monsters or something like that. And I'm like, oh okay. Yeah, these giant frogs with guns. That's like the first enemies you fight in this. Because first I was like, oh, you fight frogs now. Instead of the spiders, and then you realize, oh, that's the actual aliens. That's the actual beings. I say, oh, I never got that far in the game to actually see them. If you ever do, I have no idea. I never beaten the Earth Defense Force game. I always played it. I had fun, then I just stopped. Which I probably would do with this one. And because there's like I think it's like 150 something missions in this game. And I mean, some things could, and I don't know how long they really go. I mean, I wouldn't call it short. I guess it all depends how fast you kill those enemies. But I imagine it takes a while at the beginning because you're just starting out. But yeah, man, it's I mean, yeah, it's that game. Yeah, but like I said, graphically, man, it's really not great. The dialogue is stale, and I don't know if that's on purpose. Like the game is graphically looking good. Then I could say like, they did it on purpose.
They're going for cheesy B movie, but it feels like they are just cheesy B movie instead of going for cheesy B movie.
Yeah, exactly. And they're gonna get a big profit from this game. Yes, they should, because this game should not have cost that much. But it's an Earth Force game. There's really not much to say that, but it's a very cheesy game. And yeah, like I thought it was a very old game. Man, I thought it was like I was thinking like, oh, this ain't the newest one. This is like an old one they probably did again. And no, it's not. I was like, oh wow, this doesn't look that much better than any other ones I played. On these older consoles. And then I was watching Donkey's video, and he was saying like, because the frame rate was so bad, I was thinking because like, damn, man, they didn't optimize it so they can't even play on my 970. Computer, But no, it's just bad, because he said he had a 4080 or something like that. He said like, this is the frame rate. I was like, oh, okay. So I say, oh, so it's not my graphics card. That's the problem. All right. Jeez. So that's it. That's all I played. So I guess we take a quick break. When we get back, we get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. So now we're flashbacking to 2014, 10 years ago. Let's see what games we got here. We got a few games that's worth mentioning. We got Friday Nights at Freddy's, man.
Yeah.
I remember playing this. I can't hear how popular it was. And actually, you know what? I'm trying to think. When I played it, did I hear how popular it was? I just saw it advertised. I think I just saw it advertised. And I tried it out. And it scared the shit out of me. And like that thing just popping up and like when I was like, what kind of freaking job is this? Like where I can't close the power to close a door and shit like that is taken up. And then why even do that? Like, the animatronics sometimes they walk around at night. I'm like, what? What the fuck they doing walking around? It's like, what the hell? It's like, yeah, but man, that game became really popular. Like people really liked that game, and it was a simple horror game. I mean, it wasn't like you traveled around; you just stood in one booth room and you just look at the monitors, making sure like where those freaking Chuck E. Cheese animatrons were doing.
And kids just love to be frightened, I guess, Dominic.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm surprised. It's like, hey, there should be a partnership. Should have been a partnership. It's like, hey, we got the Chuck E. Cheese version. You see Chucky coming in, and like, say, well, you don't want Chucky to be known as that or something like that.
I mean, at this point, like they aren't really doing anything else with Chucky. To say, you know what?
Exactly. At this point, yeah, it might as well just embrace it because these kids are already playing the game. It's like whatever. So yeah, that game. I mean, yeah, it's just, and then we got so many versions after this. Now we got a movie. Is it a movie or television show that's coming out? Cause I seen it advertised.
I don't know. Let me see. I did start searching for this because the movie came out last year, and then let's see, Five Nights at Freddy's 2, 2025.
This is something I see like on Amazon Prime with their ads.
Yeah, I think the movie's available on Prime, and it might like just be available now on Prime.
Oh, okay.
So maybe that's why they're doing ads more. Yeah, it's included with the Prime subscription now. Looks like it also might be available on Max. Nope, not available anymore. So maybe Max had it and lost it, and now it's on. I thought it was on like Paramount or something originally, but yeah, because it's a Universal Pictures thing. So now you can watch it on Prime with ads.
Okay, so yeah, so that's Friday Night Freddy's. All right. So now we're going to move into PT.
Yeah.
So PT came out PS4. This is supposed to be like Silent Hill, the new Silent Hill game. Mm-hmm. Well, we didn't know, right? We did this at PT at first.
Yeah, initially it was just released as PT, and I think we knew it was somehow related to Kojima. And then if you actually get through the events in the demo or the playable thing, then at the end they played a trailer for Silent Hills, which was a new Silent Hill game starring Norman Reedus, the guy from Walking Dead and Death Stranding now. At the time, he was not in that, but, Kojima was a big fan of him.
Yeah, because we were excited for like a potential Kojima Silent Hill.
Yeah.
So we know it would have been like very long, drawn out cutscenes in this horror movie. Yeah, so, but no, it never did come to pass because there was a falling out between Kojima and Konami, and between Konami and the bad guys, which I don't know who the bad guys were, honestly. I mean, it's always, the corporations are usually always the bad guys, so that's what everybody's go with. But
also Kojima, come on.
Yeah, I mean, everybody loved Kojima. While I didn't anymore.
I was gonna say quite the opposite.
Yeah, I was a fan when I was younger. Those games don't appeal to me as much anymore because I thought there were such greatly written games, and as I got older, we're like, okay, they're not greatly written games. They
so young and so naive.
Yeah, this appeared to be. I mean, the gameplay I do like. I mean, they were all right. They were all right. And 5, I think
They're no
5
Splinter
was.
Cells, but you know.
Oh, no, whatever. But 5 was actually gameplay wise. I thought it was pretty okay. But it was. But that was it. It was nothing else. Like there was no story element to me. I mean, I wish there was a better story put within that whole gameplay, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, it worked out for Kojima. He's got, like you said, he got Death Stranding 2, and whatever the fuck the Xbox shit is.
Yeah.
Supposed to be coming out. So we'll see with that. But yeah, but PT, this was big. This was huge because people play this like so many times. Everybody's trying to like get all the secrets and see what's it about, and then it was then it wasn't available anymore. It got shut down because of what happened, and so then people start selling it because the thing is only attached to your account.
Yeah, because it wasn't even one of those things where they're like, we're delisting it. You can't buy it anymore, but you can still download it if you own it. This was it's ripped off the servers. You can never get it again. If you delete it, it's done basically.
Yeah. So that kind of sucked for people because some people was like, oh man, I did like playing that, and I played a little bit of it and it scared the shit out of me. And last on the list of games from 10 years ago, WWE Supercard came out on Android and iOS. So what was this game, Daniel?
It was basically a card game. You got your packs, you opened them up, and it was basically like, if I recall correctly, because I played quite a bit of it when it first came out, you would basically have like 3 rounds or 3 matches, so you would choose your cards, and it was like basically whoever had the top stat on a specific stat, you won the match. It was super simple. There wasn't much strategy to it. It was really just like whoever has the highest level cards. And I never put any money into it. There was plenty of options to do that, I believe. But I was still doing all right and enough to enjoy, continuing to play it for a couple of weeks at least, I think. And maybe even a couple of months at the time. And getting new cards and seeing what they would give you. But yeah, eventually I just kind of fell off of it like I do with any phone game, especially. And I don't know if it's still going. I feel like I hear about that on the WWE program every once in a while still. So I think they're still going. But it's kind of crazy that, it's been... Yeah, they've got, I can spend $100 and get 2 male superstar Enigma SummerSlam 2024 cards and 2 female superstar Enigma cards. Or I can spend $150 and get 1 male superstar, 1 female superstar, 5 male superstars Tundra SummerSlam 2024. Like, Jesus Christ. No wonder they're keeping this going.
What company is working on this? Like I just want to know the people behind the scenes who are like doing these games. Like, do they have like multiple jobs?
This is released by Take-Two, but Cat Daddy Games is the developer of this one.
Oh, yeah, it's published by 2K also. Yeah. Okay. All right, so
Cat Daddy Games. Hey, Cat Daddy Games, developers behind Carnival Games VR, Dominic. So, these guys are familiar with money.
Oh yeah, yeah. I just want to know like who keeps it updated. Like, to these people, like, do they bring in new people? It's like the same people that had worked on the game like from the very beginning. Like they can say, "Hey, you keep up this game for us." Like I don't know how the hiring process works. Like, where do you
They're go? Like, hey, you want a job in the video games industry? All right, here, make a new Roman Reigns card. Here's some clip art of him. Throw some sparkles on it and make him look cool. Yeah, this website is dedicated it's gotta be so cheap. Money.
Because it's got to be like so cheap.
You would think so. You would think it's got to be.
and they just make so much.
I wonder how much money Cody Rhodes has spent on this game, because he's a known whale in like Castle Crash or whatever that was, Clash of Clans.
Oh, Clash of Clans.
So I wonder if he also went down like this rabbit hole, or if he's just a Clash of Clans kind of guy.
I never touched Clash of Clans.
Nah, me neither.
Like the closest thing I ever touched to one of those games is Simpsons.
The Tapped Out. Is that it? Yeah.
Tapped Out. That's the closest I got. And yeah, I tapped out. Because I was like, oh, like I don't have to spend money, but for me to have a little bit more fun, I had to spend some money. And I think, Plants vs. Zombies 2, when it first came out, I did try that. And I think it was Peggle, because Peggle, like, you free to start or something, and then you got to pay. And no, I think it was Candy Crush. Candy Crush.
Oh, yeah, I had Candy Crush.
Because I got far, and then it got to a point where it's like a wait time or something.
Yeah.
Or unless you pay. And I think that's what
goes, yeah.
That's where I got to the point where I was stopping to play. Yeah, man. Oh, man. Those phone games. They're still going, baby. Going strong. And then they spread. We thought the virus is going to stay on the phone, but it spread it. It spread it to the consoles.
Yeah.
It spread to the consoles where you pay $60. You pay $60.
And then you still get exploited.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So there was nothing really for 20 years ago that came out. So let's go back 30 years. There was like one game probably worth mentioning. Bomberman GB, which stands for, I guess assuming it's Game Boy, you know, because this is Bomberman on the Game Boy.
It stands for Greatest Bomberman.
Yeah, so I never played it. I never played this version of it, but I think I rated pretty well. It got like 2 more on the Game Boy until eventually came on the color, and I think, or the Pocket or whatever. Is that the color one called Pocket Game Boy?
No, those were different. The Game Boy Pocket was just a smaller version of the Game Boy, and then
it was called Bomberman Pocket, but I don't know when it came out.
Pocket was the Game Boy Color one. Yeah,
that's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Sorry.
Yeah,
that one was like a platformer. This one is like an action adventure game though, and I was watching a long play of it. And it looked kind of familiar, so I might have actually played this one.
Oh, okay. So it's not just like normal Bomberman.
No, like it uses normal Bomberman like gameplay where you're dropping the bombs and moving around, but it's less multiplayer focused and is like, oh, you got to kill all the enemies in this level while clearing the brush or stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess this was that big on the link cable times.
No, not quite.
Yeah, they did have it, but there was a lot of games like that until later on. Man, they made it so like, I definitely hate the ones that say like, hey, you gotta have 4 people to play the game, have the game, and link your cables. All right, yeah, so that's it for the flashback segment. So we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we'll get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. So let's get to the gaming news. What we got, Dan?
All right, Dominic. First up, Epic Game Store has finally launched its mobile launcher. So if you are a fan of having multiple stores on your phone, if you're an Android user in anywhere in the world, basically, you can try that out. Or if you are an iOS user in Europe, because, they actually have some sort of regulations over there. So they're like, hey, Apple, you got to open your stuff up. So that means people in Europe can finally directly download Fortnite again instead of having to like try and subvert, weird ways of doing that. I'd be interested to see if they go like the Amazon marketplace route, because years and years ago, back in the day, when Android was still pretty young, Amazon had their own store, and maybe they still do. They had their own exclusive store in their tablets and stuff, but they used to have it available for everybody, and as a means to get people to use it the same way that Epic Store does or Epic Launcher does on the PC, they would have free games. So that's how I got like Lara Croft Go and Hitman Go and stuff like that back in the day. And I don't think I have access to that stuff anymore. But I would be interested in getting some of the more like meaty mobile games to just give it a try if they're making those available for free to kind of incentivize people to get into this. Otherwise, don't really care too much. Not a big Fortnite guy, so there's not much incentive for me here to try and get this launcher going on my phone. What about you, Dominic?
All right. So yeah, it's not a big deal, but I did hear something about Epic Store. What's his name? Is it Todd Sweeney? Who's the guy?
Tim Sweeney, yeah.
Tim Sweeney. Like he mentioned something about how the exclusive games like being up there, hasn't been like much profitable or something like that.
It seems like that's been the case for him, especially when they were talking about like the kinds of numbers that they were spending on some of that stuff.
And that their biggest one is the free games has seemed to help though.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really? Okay.
Giving away the free games. So, man, I'm hoping that that this will be the end. Like they'll just stop doing exclusive.
Yeah, I mean, for the developers, that seemed like it was a pretty good deal though, because they got money up front, and it didn't really matter how their game sold. And then when it finally got to Steam, people would probably still buy it if they wanted to play it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was almost like a double dip for them. But yeah, it probably didn't work out too well for Epic, because we knew that, right? Like we knew eventually they would be on Steam, and if I was so adamant about not wanting to use the Epic launcher anyway, then I could just wait, because I was probably already waiting 6 months for it to come from the console, when we're talking about stuff like Final Fantasy or something like that, So.
And that's the big story from there. But I hope it stops that. So the game can just come out. I mean, it's like, cause we always talked about like it wasn't always a big deal about the Epic Store, and like people, like I don't know, they have their hiccups with things, and I mean, at the beginning, yes, Epic Store didn't have a lot of, some features that you didn't like but,
a cart.
Yeah, things like that, which is that totally didn't make sense.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, it was like, okay, for me playing a game, what's the problem?
Right.
Like, if I just want to play a game, does it really matter? It doesn't matter for me.
Yeah, my problem is when I buy something in one launcher and then it opens up like 3 more launchers to finally get me into the game.
And that's a whole new problem. Yeah. That's just a whole new, Like, cause like with Dragon Age Inquisition, I mean, cause technically you bought it. I mean, you didn't buy it, but you bought it through the free game thing. And so I don't know. Somehow that must have registered. So when I play it through Game Pass, it opens up EA Origins.
Yeah.
And then it opens up Epic, and that's why I was asking you, Pass. I was like, I don't know why to open up through Epic. It's like, I'm playing it through Game Pass. Can it just do it from there?
Yeah.
But it's like some type of confusion with it where it can't register like, hey, this is separate, but it's bad. Yeah, I hate that. And I mean, that's really with EA and Ubisoft and them having their own launchers. And it's like, dude, why you're making it shit like harder for people, more complicated what it should be. And like,
nobody's buying stuff directly from them that I'm aware of. I mean, I say that, but I say that, but I'm pretty sure I bought the Prince of Persia from earlier this year through that. But no, I bought that through Epic Store too.
And so also, I mean, unless it's got to be a sale, and then you have to know about it.
Yeah.
Like somebody told you, because you're not going up. Most likely, you're probably not going up there. With the Xbox Game Pass, like you open that launcher, it automatically opens up the Blizzard one. And I try to close Blizzard. They won't let you close it. They said this has to be open. And I'm like, what the fuck? It has to be open? Why does it have to be open? And then when I had download Valorant, because I was going to try it, and then I realized that's a launcher for Riot. And I was like, nah, because then I was like, because I had no space, because I was trying to download another game. And I was like, I'll take this out. I don't need any other clients open, especially if you're forcing me to have it open. Like, it's one thing, I don't care about having a client, but why are you forcing me to have it open? Because I was trying to close it.
Yeah, because now you're using those resources to run that in the background.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's ridiculous. It's like, it's supposed to be, it's a partnership, be a partnership. Be it that you actually have it embedded with you or something. I don't want to have to go, like, have this other client open. Mm-hmm. All right, but good, yeah. So the app it launches on Android, so that's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's just good so that iOS people, hopefully eventually around the world, not just in Europe, will be able to get access to Fortnite again. I wonder if we see a spike in Fortnite players again from mobile.
So we can see a lot more Doom players. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, you ain't got it up here. Doom being in Fortnite?
Yeah, I mean, we talk on and off depending on how much news we have about what's going on in Fortnite. But yeah, that is kind of a big deal right now. What is it, like Total Doom or something like that?
And then when he takes his mask off, it look like Robert Downey Jr.
No, they're saving that when they relaunch that when the movie comes out. But yeah, they've got, Doom's Castle in there. It's got a whole bunch of Easter eggs, like the Fantastic Four all captured. They turned the thing into his throne. That's kind of disrespectful.
God damn.
Yeah. He wrapped up Reed into a ball, and you can see in the game that it's still breathing, so he's like still alive, which is just gross. Sue is just a chair in a box, so you don't know if she's like just trapped in this box or if she's dead. And then he's just got Johnny's heart ripped out.
I'm surprised he ain't got her like how
like Princess Leia.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe that's how he does. I mean, maybe that's what the box is.
And then you have her invisible, so you don't know. Say, hey,
exactly.
she's really naked.
That's how. That's why you have her in the box, because you got to know where she's at. So you just stare. You stare at the box, Dominic, and you pretend like you know what you see.
What's Johnny Storm doing?
Nah, he's just got his heart ripped out of his chest.
Oh,
yeah. There's just a heart that's on fire in one of the display cases. So yeah, there's a lot of cool Easter eggs in there, but they seem like they're doing, kind of another big update there after people were kind of not too satisfied with that previous one where they added all the vehicle stuff. Yeah, so that's, Fortnite does some really cool stuff. I got to give them credit for that. It's weird timing for this whole Doom thing, because the movie is announced but not coming out for quite a while. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
if it was intended to be tied in with the announcement of it, or what, or if it was something else and got changed.
Yeah, this is for kids, man. I'm sorry, like because this stuff. See, for somebody like me, it annoys me. It's like you're not even there. You're not even out yet. I don't need you right now, but. It's for the kids. It's because kids have short attention spans. They gotta remember.
Yeah. Yeah. So they'll do this now, and then they'll do it again, when that movie comes out, and the kids will be like, oh, that Fortnite thing. Awesome. All right, Dominic. Next up, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas VR, which I admittedly have completely forgotten was a thing that had previously been announced for the Meta Quest. That has been delayed indefinitely. According to Meta good. Now. That's unfortunate. I mean, that seems like it would have been a cool thing, but...
I mean, yes, I can imagine being cool, but...
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, it sounds like it's... Yeah, it does sound like a cool thing to do, but it seems like very, I guess, daunting.
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember when people were modding like GTA 5 with like the VR headsets, and you could go around in first person.
Who was working on this?
I think Rockstar was working on it.
Yeah, keep working on 6,
a little bit, but
yeah, put some more bodies on that.
That's what. Yeah, they just all the bodies they could get. Also, is it Ready at Dawn that Meta just closed down? And Dawn, I think they're the ones.
Yeah, because I heard somebody talk about new, like the Order 60,
1886, yeah. Yeah, they just got shut down by Meta, which is unfortunate. I mean, it was weird when they got picked up by Meta in the first place, because this was like the team that did all the like PlayStation spin-offs of, like, I think they even did the Uncharted one, but they did like Ratchet or Clank, and like the Jak and Daxter one, things like that, I think. And then, you know, they made Lone Echo, which was a huge VR game. And then, you know, it just kind of...
I forgot they did that. And I was like, darn, that was actually really good.
Yeah, everybody talked very highly about that one. And then they got picked up by Meta, and kind of from there, it just fell apart. So that's really unfortunate.
They got picked up by Meta, like, after they did Lone Echo?
Yeah, I think after they did Lone Echo, that's when they got picked up.
And then they did Lone Echo 2. Did they do that? Was that after or before they got picked up by Meta?
I think that was after.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then what else they do?
That was it. They did Lone Echo. They did Echo Arena, which was just the multiplayer component of Lone Echo. It looks like there was a Echo Combat. I don't know what that's about. And then Lone Echo 2, and then...
I mean, that's kind of sucks, because they did a really great game, and that's it.
Yeah.
It seems like.
Yeah. It definitely, like, why? Why'd they even purchase them if they're just gonna, you know... I don't know. The games industry is so weird right now. But yeah, they picked them up in June of 2020. They had released Lone Echo in 2017. Then they released Lone Echo 2 in 2021. So they were underneath them when that happened. And then in April of 2023, the studio was hit with layoffs, which resulted in roughly a third of the employees being laid off. And then just now they closed the studio. So that really sucks. Like, that's a lot of talent. You know, because these are like former Naughty Dog. I mean, obviously, I don't know. The studio's been around for a while, so obviously they've cycled through people, I would imagine. But, you know, it was started as people from Naughty Dog and Blizzard. So, like, you know, pretty serious people. And it wasn't the Clank game that they made. They made the Daxter game for the PSP, and then the God of War games for the PSP. And then, of course, they made the Order 1886, which, you know, you can give or take. And then they transitioned into the VR space with Lone Echo. So that is very unfortunate. All right, Dominic, next up, we've got a new Darksiders game has been teased. If they go back to what those games kind of started as 3D action games mixed with a little more RPG elements in that second one, then that's pretty cool. If we're talking about another like overhead, you know, dungeon crawler style thing like that last one was, maybe less interested. What do you think as a franchise? Are you still interested in Darksiders? Could it make a triumphant return?
Maybe, but yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I kind of. I mean, lost interest. I kind of think it's over. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I never did. I liked that really first one, and the second one came, and it was okay, and I didn't. I never. It was just the timing. Timing wasn't good, and I just never got into it. And then 3 was wasn't that. Was that the one that was isometric?
Yeah, that was the isometric one.
Yeah, so that's when I was like, oh, well, I guess they don't got a budget to do a 3D, and then they went 3D again, and then that wasn't that great.
Yeah, so I'd be interested. It definitely feels like a game kind of out of its time. Like if it had released the games back when that first game came out, and they did a multiplayer one like everybody talked about, because obviously you've got 4 Horsemen and whatnot. I think they could have had something relatively big. You know, that was during like Gears of War's height, or something, and stuff like that.
Even if it wasn't multiplayer, it was like you can switch. I don't know. It was something, because when they showed like at the end of the first one, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking like, oh crap, the other 3 are coming. I said it seemed like epic. So, oh crap, this is gonna be big. And then it was just you were just death. And I was like, oh, okay. That's like, I guess the other guys are doing something else.
They're busy. They got sidetracked. And we'll find out their stories in the next games. Yeah, I think they tried to long play that one a little too much, and it just didn't quite work
you know
out.
What? And I'm glad, like, you know what? I think some games are learning from that, because like God of War, man, I was scared that's going to be like a long thing. I was like, oh, they're going to stretch this out. I'm never going to see the end of this. 4 or
5 games.
Yeah, but then Ragnarok is, I don't know if this is the last game, but the way the ending, it seems like it's at least a satisfying one. So I'm happy about that. That's what I wanted. That's like, I don't want a big cliffhanger, like, oh god, I can't wait for the next one. I was like, no, you end. And I mean, you know what? And Last of Us, technically that did too. Even though they said they want to do other games, at least it wasn't a cliffhanger after that first game. Yeah. So even though there is a second game out, I don't have to play it. I felt like, hey, it's not like a must play as in like I gotta know what happens. Yeah. It's like, oh, it's ended. This was a good ending. And I don't know how second one ends though. I'm gonna say that it has a. If you like the game, I think it was alright. I don't know if it's a cliffhanger ending at the end. I have no idea, honestly. Yeah. Because I
think people were positive on it though, as far as storytelling goes, though. So
yeah, so like at least like if there's some reason they don't do another one, I feel like it should be it should be like, oh, we missed out on what could happen or whatever. I mean, some people are still going to say that because they just like those characters. They want to keep seeing them forever until they're horrible, because people they don't know when to stop. That's the thing. People, I mean, that's just what we are here. We don't know when to stop. We don't know when to stop. We're like when dogs when they eat. Like they'll eat forever if you keep giving food. Like you gotta tell them to stop. You just gotta stop giving it to them and tell them this is it. This is the end. And
that's why these streaming services are like those little maze bowls that slow you down so that you don't consume too much terrible content. You're just like, oh, I gotta keep looking around until I find something good.
All right. What else we got?
All right. Next up, Dominic, we got Red Dead Redemption. There's been some stuff in the past indicating that we might finally see a PC port of that game. It did end up coming out to the Switch. Yeah, like, do you have any interest in that game finally coming to the PC? Like,
yes,
did you replay it?
I do. Actually, I will play it again if it can to the PC.
Yeah.
Because right now, I'm not hooking up my 360 up or... Actually, I think I could play... Well, I can play it on my one. Because I do have the disc, yeah. I just have to, put the disc in. And that's just a pain in the ass. I mean, I know. I mean, it's not really a pain in the ass, but it's just that I love the days of downloading. I can't just download it because then I have to buy it. And I'm not going to buy that game again. But yeah, I will buy it again if it was on PC, though. Yeah, if this game was on PC, I would definitely play it again. Because I still have to play that DLC. I haven't finished it.
Oh, the
Undead Nightmare.
Nice.
Yeah. I still have not played that. Because it glitched on me. Because, I mean, the horse I had, it was like one of those 4 horsemen. It was the fire one. And then the horse ran away. But usually call him back. But the only one I can get is the pestilence one. And it looks ugly.
Yeah. All right, Dominic. Next up, we got Randy Pitchford. He's out here teasing Borderlands 4, basically saying, it's, even after all this money that Hollywood's spending, you're saying basically what you want is a game from us, because basically that movie has absolutely bombed at the box office, and I think Randy is out there trying to do a good job of spinning this into, hey, I know you didn't like this thing that I totally had nothing to do with, even though I was on the set every day, showing people magic tricks.
Well, what could he do? Honestly. That's what I want to know. What could he do?
He could say, don't make Eli Roth the director for my movie because he's an awful director.
Man, I mean, I'm upset that, because like who's in the movie? I mean, I know that, of course, Kevin Hart's in the movie. I know him. It was what's the woman in the movie? Who plays the woman? Is that
Kate Blanchett?
Yeah, Blanchett. Yeah, I was about to say Helen Mirren.
I think she's in it too. I think she plays a different character.
Oh,
I think she might be.
He got some big names.
Oh, they've got huge names for it. It's ridiculous how bad it is.
Yeah, but I don't count Kevin Hart. I think he's a whore. I mean, like a Hollywood whore. Like I think he literally does anything. He's that kind of guy. I mean, I see the shit he does. Like he's everywhere. Like I don't know what he says no to. I want to know what he says no to.
Absolutely nothing. Give them man all the money.
He's that. Yeah, I just think whatever is the equivalent of a whore for Hollywood, where you just take, you do everything. That's what he is. Yeah. Like he's that guy, and like I'm so over him now.
Yeah,
and like I used to like him, but they freaking he's just everywhere. Like he's literally everywhere, and it's like, god damn, is there no other black guy? There's no other black guys or something to do this or something.
Yeah.
Like even the Olympics, he's on a show with Keenan, and I'm like, god damn.
Yep. We found the one that we're comfortable with, Dominic, so now we just put him on
I don't know what movie I like that he starred in. I mean, if you count Jungle Book, Jumanji as like him starring in, then that's one.
Yeah.
I didn't see 2, so I can't honestly speak on that. The movies I like him in, he wasn't a star. He was there. He was a side. I mean, he was like, he wasn't. He would be if he would be supporting actor. And I mean, I liked him. I mean, he's good. Like, I'm trying to think of movies that he actually was the lead. That I liked him in. And I can't really think of one.
Yeah. CIA with The Rock. No.
Yeah, I saw that.
It exists as a movie.
Yeah. What's the one with was it him and
Ice Cube?
Well, no, not I seen that one too. Nah. It was it Will Ferrell, him? Yeah, him and Will Ferrell,
Get
right?
Hard or whatever. Not Get Hard.
Yeah,
the one where he goes to prison.
Yeah. I didn't hate that movie. But it's not something like yeah. Now I didn't see the one with him and the guy from Breaking Bad where he was in a wheelchair.
Oh, what was that one?
Yeah, because the guy from Breaking Bad was a comedy. I think it was supposed to be based off a true story. Bryan Cranston played The Upside. That's what it's called. Kevin Hart supposed to be taking care of him.
Oh my god, I don't think I remember this at all.
And
Nicole Kidman and everything. Jesus.
Yeah. Oh well, it got 43% on Rotten Tomatoes. So never mind. So
that would explain why I've never heard of this. All right, Dominic, next up, we got Dragon Age Vanguard has gotten a release date. It is October 31st, so it is coming out very soon. There's a new trailer as well, along with this. That game looks sharp, like visually, it looks, I want to say next gen in just that it's like very high resolution. The art style is obviously unique too.
Inquisition.
Yeah. What do you think around Vanguard in general? Are you excited about it? I mean, I'm playing Inquisition almost kind of in the lead up to it. So,
yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm somewhat excited for it. I hope it turns out well. Though I heard that you can't switch characters. They said you can't. You just play as your character and that's it. Which I think that's what you did in Mass Effect. But in these games, you could always do that, though.
Yeah.
So this would be the first game you can't. And I don't know, because in these type of genre games, like we just had Baldur's Gate, like you can play as anybody.
Yeah.
Hell, in Baldur's Gate, they even make it so that if you talk with somebody who you're playing as, that's who will be talking. You'll be doing they will be the ones doing the dialogue. It's not like they be switched to the main character.
That's pretty
which
cool.
I think that was pretty cool. But in this game, I find that like, so I guess maybe is that a resource thing or was it? I mean, I think they said that. I think they said the combat would be like it's too fast, which then I'm like, oh wow, that then this is definitely not like your this is not.
Yeah,
This
that's
is not
definitely
like
what it seems like. Is they're going
like
maybe in
action,
the
yeah,
more
yeah,
actiony route. So
which they have. I mean,
yeah.
if we're being real, I mean, which they really started with two. They tried to mix it up in three. Like three, you can choose. You can either pause the screen to tell them to go attack, or you can just attack.
Mm.
And it looks like they're still moving towards that. Um, yeah, and like I mean, I don't. Yeah, I mean, still, you can say that combat's fast where you can't switch, which I don't know. I there's a lot of bull because I feel like there's ways to do that. You slow the game down when you switch and you slow it, and then you switch.
Mm.
I mean, I've seen it, and then also if hey maybe I can't switch while we're fighting, but can I switch before? Like, can I just be say can I just be that character? But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if this is a design choice, but I don't know. I mean, the cynic in me is thinking like it's more of a resource thing. That they want to put you more on like, hey, this person could do combos, like doing stuff like you control with the other characters, and that kind of sucks for me. But we'll see how this turns out. So how Vanguard is. I mean, yeah, since this will be the big Western RPG that's coming out since Avowed is next year, so this will be the big one. This will be as far as that genre, I guess really by itself. I don't know any other one that's coming out this fall.
Yeah, no. So yeah, I'm hoping reviews hit for that and are positive. You know, that's been a long time coming, and you know, it seemed like it kind of went through a troubled development. And
people liked the remaster collection of Mass Effect. Does that count?
You know what? Yeah, we'll count that as a win. That's
okay.
That was a win for them. They got some positive PR out of that, so they just need to be able to spin that into some more, and not a Mass Effect Andromeda style Dragon Age, basically. Hopefully, that's not what this is. All right, Dominic. Hey, I got the last story of the week here. This is a kind of an interesting twist on a previous story that we've reported. Tango Gameworks, who had previously been shut down by Microsoft, makers of Hi-Fi Rush and among other things. So they have actually been opened back up by the PUBG publisher Crafton, like fully just basically opened back up, including former employees just being offered their jobs back, saying like, hey, if you used to work here, just come back to work. And it sounds like the results of that have been about 50% of the staff coming back, which I mean,
I thought they just like boxed up all the employees when they shut it down, yes. And now they dug them back up,
dug them back out of the attic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean that's positive that those people now have jobs again. It's I hope that means the other 50% have been able to find jobs elsewhere already. That's kind of unfortunate. Those 50 that have come back haven't been able to find jobs, but it seems like that's kind of the game market right now.
How long they've been shut down?
It's been at least a month now. Tango
okay, so it
Gameworks.
hasn't been that long.
Yeah, it's not crazy. Now, I don't know if this is weird or not. So they also have the Hi-Fi Rush IP now, so they can make a new Hi-Fi Rush if they want.
Wow.
Microsoft has kept Ghostwire Tokyo and The Evil Within, which are also games made by that studio. I get that if you're gonna make another Hi-Fi Rush game, like you would maybe want the people that have previously made the game to make that game. But if I'm Microsoft and I'm allegedly as happy with that game as I said I was numerous times after people reported that you were not happy with the sales of that game, wouldn't you have kept that IP?
That's what I'm saying. I find that weird because that's like when Universal kept Crash Bandicoot when they took Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog couldn't. They didn't let Naughty Dog keep Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah,
they kept that. And they, I mean, yes, the other ones suck compared to Naughty Dogs, but they knew. But hey, guess what? The IP because of that name is sold. And I'm like, I mean, I'm not saying no Hi-Fi Rush like Crash Bandicoot. I'm just saying that.
But it's also one of the few like successes Microsoft has had recently.
That's what I'm saying. Like you did. Why wouldn't? Yeah, I find that weird. I mean, I'm happy. Like as far as gamers, you would be happy with that because like the original guys who actually worked on it,
right?
Well, at least some of them are going to be there, to work on this game. But from a business standpoint, yeah, I'm surprised I didn't keep all those goddamn IPs.
Yeah, exactly.
I
mean, you paid for that stuff. You might as well keep it.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Maybe they were just like, yeah, we're never going to do anything with this. Take this trash. I don't know. It's just, it's such a weird story, though.
Yeah, it is. Because, like, Twisted Metal for, like, Sony or something, it's like how many people who worked on the first game? I mean, we already know the lead guys out there, but...
Yeah.
Like... like, what, like, nobody... Yeah, I don't... Yeah, unless the studio... Like, when the studio goes to be independent, you see that, like, where they keep it. Like, because they might have sold it back to them or something, or something like that. But when you shut down a place, yeah... I thought the IPs were... I thought they just kept them. I thought it was implied.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
I think they did, but it sounds like they basically, like, sold it off to them, I guess. So, it's so weird that you would shut the studio. Like, we talked about this. Like, why wouldn't you have sold off those companies if you wanted to get rid of them instead of just shutting them down? They have some level of name recognition, and now maybe Tango Gameworks wasn't the highest level, but they did have, especially with Shinji Mikami no longer being there, but like they did have some name recognition from the Evil Within games.
That's what I'm saying. Money, I need to know like the money. Like, was it easier to shut? I mean, is it financially better to just shut down?
Then they get a write off on their taxes, and then like, oh, Crafton sweeps in, and they're like, oh, well, we already got the money on our taxes, so I guess like you can keep that name if you want and just open that studio up if you're willing. Sure, why not? It's just so weird. All right, Dominic. Yeah, and Crafton is based out of South Korea, and they are like I said, the publishers of PUBG. It feels like that's where a lot of the money is coming from nowadays in video games, between Saudi Arabia and South Korea, because you also got NCSoft there and Tencent. Tencent's been investing a lot of money in a lot of companies.
Tencent is South Korea?
Yeah, Tencent's South Korea.
Oh, damn, I kept thinking they were China.
Or no, I'm sorry. Yeah, they are China. What was I thinking? Yeah, they're in Shenzhen.
Yeah, I would say the Chinese. Yeah.
All right.
The Asians are taking
competing.
Over.
Life simulator.
Well, Japan was already there, but like now the other Asians saying like, yeah, we're getting our hands on this.
I think they might be taking over. I mean, I feel like, Japan obviously is still doing their thing, but I feel like Japan is such a small market at this point that, they aren't nearly as influential in video games as they once were.
Oh, nah.
So America took that over. We took it from them. So, yeah, that is news over these past couple of weeks. Dominic, anything else that you might have seen that I might not have talked about?
I don't think so. I think I mentioned. I think I've seen.
Since they killed off Game Informer, it's been hard to
I know
find just games journalism. IGN wants to serve you up all these alien Romulus things, and GameSpot's not much different, really, sadly. Polygon's the same way, so.
I don't have anything. I'm good.
All right, we'll get into new releases here. Dominic, you mentioned it earlier, but Creatures of Ava, that is PC, Xbox exclusive. That's not out on the Switch or the PlayStation or anything like that. That's on Game Pass. You also have Pepper Grinder finally coming out on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series after having previously been PC and Nintendo Switch exclusive. Vulgar the Viking 2 is now out on basically everything: PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series. I've been hearing good things about that. That first game was really cool too.
Yeah.
So I'd be interested in checking that out eventually. Let's see. We also have Cat Quest 3. That is a series that seemingly is pretty successful since we're at 3 already. And there is a demo on the Switch as well. I downloaded it at one point, but have not gotten around to playing it. Seems kind of an action platformer kind of thing. Doom and Doom 2. This got like a special re-release on Game Pass and Xbox. They did a similar kind of treatment to the Quake that they did recently, where they had Machine Games work on a new campaign. This also includes the campaigns of like Final Doom. You can also add mods to it. I think there was a John Romero campaign that he did somewhat recently, like 2 or 3 years ago, that is also included in this. And I just think that's a really clever way to have like new content come out while also not, blowing out budgets, making a whole new Doom game. You catch people with the nostalgia, and maybe you get a few new people who were familiar with, Machine Games' more recent work with Wolfenstein, who were intrigued by that. And kind of as a bonus thing for Game Pass especially, I think that's very cool. The only thing is, I was disappointed that there wasn't like mouse free look, basically, like up and down. Because I remember a friend of mine saying like, "Oh, you didn't realize in Doom you could use the mouse, to look around." But I think I never realized that back in the day. And you could, but just like this, you can't look up and down because the bullets just track up and down anyway, as long as you're pointed in the right direction of the bad guy. But you can, look left and right using the mouse instead of just the arrow keys.
Yeah, I was about to say, I remember I could look up in Doom.
But I would have liked to see that, be added. But I guess that would complicate things.
Those days, I didn't have a joystick, so I was always playing everything mouse and keyboard. But that was before everything was like totally 3D.
Yeah,
like you didn't have like a 360 movement stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's
by the time that stuff come, I had a controller.
Yeah,
and so that's why I can never go back. I can't really go back to mouse and keyboard because I'm not used to that.
Mm-hmm. All right, next up we got SteamWorld Heist 2. I think that's getting pretty good reviews from the little bit that I've seen so far. That is like the kind of XCOM style, but in side perspective SteamWorld game. Steamworks is not what I meant to type in. SteamWorld Dig 2. Why did I say Dig? Heist 2. That is, it's 9 out of 10 on Steam right now. IGN's review is...
I still got to play the first one.
It's an 8 on there, so yeah, it seems like it's doing pretty well. Positive vibes for that game. We also have Sam and Max: The Devil's Playground Remastered on PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One, What do you think, Dominic? Is a pretty big Sam and Max fan. Are you interested in?
Yeah, I am. I didn't. Yeah, I knew it was out today, but I didn't see nobody. I guess nobody reviewed
posting
it yet.
about it. Yeah, I haven't seen much about it. I just
Yeah, because I was looking on GameSpot and they still had articles back when it was on PS3.
Yeah. All right. We also got Kena Bridge of Spirits finally coming to the Xbox and Xbox Series. So former PlayStation exclusive there. Check that out finally. That's one of those games I would have expected to be like a Game Pass thing, when they make this deal. Because a lot of times you'll see these games that are formerly PlayStation exclusive. When they finally make it to the Xbox gets them under Game Pass. It's kind of like, hey, we got it finally, and you can just play it because you got Game Pass.
Yeah.
And then we got Madden NFL 25. The video game season has begun, Dominic, is what I would say if this was 10 years ago.
NCAA is on just the next-gen consoles.
Yeah.
And this is on everything. Well, except for the Switch, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's never the case.
Yeah.
Even PC.
It's on it's on everything, but not the NCAA. I was like, God, man. I was like, I don't know.
Maybe that speaks to how different they are. Hopefully, that they built this engine for NCAA and it just didn't easily port to PC, or the old consoles the same way that Madden does.
Laziness. That's why I say dang.
Could be that too. Could be not wanting to put the money into it also, Even though it seems like, the hype around NCAA was a lot more than Madden was. I mean, obviously the break, would amp some of that up.
Oh, yeah.
But also it just seems like, a lot of people are excited about a college football game again.
I know. I mean, it was always better than Madden.
Yeah.
It was always better than Madden.
So, yeah, those are the new releases this week, Dominic. Well, these past 2 weeks. You got anything else for the people before we wrap this up?
Nah, man, I'm good.
All right. Thank you guys, as always, for listening and check us out.
Oh, yeah, vote Trump.
Oh, yeah? Is that what we're doing here, Dominic? All right. Support him by going to the sister website, Twitter, twitter.com. Dominic is DStalworth5. I'm at Regulus MB. Podcast is at Superpod, SUPAPOD. Superpod.com is the website. You can check us out there. As all of our previous podcasts will link to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube Music, Amazon, Spotify, all those places. Until next time, guys, talk to you later.
All right, see you.